They are hypocritical. They are nonsensical. Willie also, I mean, they know absolutely nothing about history, and I guess you don't have to if you just look at TikTok and and Instagram Reels. I guess. I mean, because you look back at history, the United States history, and I can talk about Democratic presidents all day, but let's talk about Republican presidents. It was Dwight Eisenhower during the Suez Crisis that pulled the Israelis back and said, "No, enough. That's it." That said no to the Israelis and to the British, and stopped an attack with a threat. And that was an existential crisis for both Israel and Britain. You can look at Ronald Reagan, who in 1981, after the bombing of Iraq, Ronald Reagan actually suspended sale of F-16s to Israel, and said, because of your attack, your bombing, we're not going to give you F-16s. A year later, over strenuous objections from Begin and the Israelis, he sold AWACS to the Saudis. It was a huge crisis for Israel. Reagan went ahead with it because he was worried about U.S. interests. He was worried about regional security. He was worried about what was in the best interest of the United States. And a strong Israel is in the best interest of the United States. But even Reagan knew, throughout his entire administration, we could talk about what happened in Beirut, where he had an angry call with Menachem Begin and threatened him and said basically the same thing we're saying here. You better not bomb. There's a hotel that Begin wanted to bomb in Beirut. Reagan called him up, had a really tense conversation with Menachem Begin and told him he couldn't do it. So that we could talk about George H.W. Bush, James Baker. We could go through the long list of every Republican president. Nixon, they didn't hand Israel a blank check. When Israel was doing something that they felt was not in Israel's best interest and in the United States' best interest, every one of these Republican presidents, including Ronald Reagan, said, enough. We will support you. We will defend you against any existential threats. We will help you root out terrorists, but that doesn't mean we give you a blank check. And so, in this case, you have Joe Biden acting an awful lot like Ronald Reagan and Dwight Eisenhower. I guess the new Trump Republican Party now hates Ike and Reagan. I don't know. It makes no